Over the past few months, we've not only seen a lot of updates and new releases for our sim racing titles, but also a lot of new wheels in all kinds of designs. Button boxes and customizable solutions are becoming more and more popular, and one of the longest established manufacturers is finally following suit with a solution. Thrustmaster. Their EVO Racing module paired with a high quality 32cm leather steering wheel available for pre-order as of today is the new start of a new product line, and since we haven't tested the 10Nm DD T818 on the channel yet, we'll take it right away. And this combination certainly surprised us. Let's find out why. Welcome back to Overtake, I'm Michel, and Thrustmaster has a rich history, releasing one of the first mass-market wheels for PC back in the 90s, the Formula T1. The TX, T300 RS and TSXW were also my go-to wheels to play my beloved rally games 7 to 10 years ago, as their round-shaped add-ons like the 599XX or the Sparco R383 were a perfect fit. I have good memories with them and they never disappointed, so I was very happy to see that the French manufacturer is back on the market with a new development. This EVO Racing 32R leather will be released on May 2nd, will cost 299.99 euros or US dollars or 269.99 British pounds, and is compatible with these wheelbases. It comes with both quick release adapters, old and new, to be compatible with their entire range that allows for changing the wheel add-on. Thrustmaster calls this the new evolutive range, which allows for more customization for the customer. The EVO Racing Hub will be compatible with more rims and with different pedal shifters that will be released in the future. Let's take a closer look. The leather and stitching are of good quality and the steering wheel is quite light. The faceplate weighs only 1.3 kilograms. It is noticeably lighter than the R383 Sparco wheel I've got here. You get 25 action buttons, 4 rotary encoders that are not multi-position switches, and the thumb button modules can even be adjusted in position. The long curved magnetic pedal shifters are designed for rally drivers and are also adjustable and very accessible. Above all, they are very well dampened and are among the quietest pedals I have driven in recent times. When I saw the wheel module, I thought the pattern might fit the Porsche rim that I couldn't fit on the CAMMUS C12 without a spacer last time, but I was disappointed. Thrustmaster uses different bolt pattern, a smaller one, so don't expect it to fit your collection of racing rims. On top it has 7 LEDs for your RPM and flag information if telemetry is supported. The brightness for these is adjustable with the help of an adjustment button, and the RPM indicator has also 2 different modes for blue or red light when hitting your limiter. It's a nice touch, and I have to say that the top mount position of the LEDs really helps with perception. This feature feels a bit redundant when used with the T818, but more on that in a second. Overall, this wheel reminds me of the CSV2P wheel of Moza. It also costs exactly the same. I would prefer the Thrustmaster for its button layout, larger and more accessible pedal shifters and LED placement, and also future customization options. Lower clutch pedals would have been a big plus, but I understand the rally focus, and on consoles, which is a big factor for Thrustmaster of course, you cannot use clutch pedals in most cases anyway. Mounting the 650 euro T818 on my rig, I was super curious to see how it would feel, as 10Nm is a good mid-range sweet spot, and I could compare it to the Moza R9, Fanatec DD Plus, and CAMMUS C12 that I have all used in the last few months. Especially Thrustmaster's approach with an unfiltered, pure FFB straight from the racing titles caught my attention. While the wheelbase is surprisingly light at just 5 kilograms, it could be a bit more compact. With a height of 7.1 inches or 18 centimeters, this is on the higher end of the spectrum of any wheelbase, and when mounting, it really takes away some flexibility and can compromise finding an optimal flush position with your screens. The design with the interchangeable dark blue metal plates is great, and I'm a big fan of the huge signature hexagonal LED. This integration is very clever, as the top part works as an RPM indicator when supported by the game's telemetry. It can even show flags or active pit limiters. 3 different modes can be selected to vary the display style a little bit. As mentioned earlier, it can make LED lights on your wheel kind of obsolete. The T818 introduced Thrustmaster's new quick release system and comes with an adapter to support also your collection of older wheels. Not to mention the LED hexagon has a nice effect when removing and changing the wheel. This QR is very easy to use, a galaxy better than the old system where you even had to put a screw in, but it's not the stiffest system on the market. You will experience some flags. Installation is straightforward, and we were also able to test their brand new software, which is still in beta. It's very sleek and modern, and I really like how it explains the damper and linearity settings even with graphs, so you know exactly what it means. There are also different modes for reactivity and the sharpness of your FFB. I chose performance. Then Thrustmaster makes it clear in both the manual and the software that the T818 is not intended to be a toy. Recommended from 21 years of age, activation of full forces only with confirmation. It is time for some racing. My first observation was that this wheelbase is one of the quietest. Combined with the new wheel's discrete shift pedals, this is a great option for those who don't want to disturb their roommates or neighbors. Since the EVO Racing 32R leather is designed for rally, let's get to the EA Sports WRC stages first. From the start, the integration felt great. It has a predefined button layout, and from the first moment of driving I had a strong and smooth feeling of what my car was doing, both on asphalt and in the gravel, over the crests and through dips. The only downside, no telemetry support yet, no working LEDs, hopefully coming in a future patch. Otherwise, my honest thought is that this wheelbase and wheel combination plus handbrake is one of the greatest options in terms of feedback for rallying and WRC in particular. 32 centimeters or 12.6 inches is also a great sweet spot for precision and feel. Then ACC with the Nordschleife is a new perfect testing ground for FFB and steering response, and I started to feel some weaknesses. In this title on this track, I just couldn't get a feel for what my car and tires were doing when I pushed them to the limit. The lift off oversteer and understeer is barely noticeable. It felt very similar to the CAMMUS C12 in that sense. I wonder if the no filter policy has a downside here. Then the FFB clipping was a problem, lowering the gain to 75% got rid of it for the most part, but then the overall feel was a little too soft. At least all the LED functions worked in ACC. This is really the title you can rely on when it comes to these extra features. In line with previous experiences, the original AC has a better feel and also allows a bit more FFB gain before clipping. Still, the T818 would not be my first choice for AC or ACC. It's similar with iRacing. As long as the car has a lot of grip and downforce, everything feels really good. The curbs, the bumps, everything is there. Everything is very direct. But as soon as the tires start to slip, nothing happens, which is a shame. Just a little bit of friction in the FFB and the feedback would help a lot. I soon learned that without damper and zero linearity, it felt more raw. There was also never a bad level of oscillation for me. Le Mans Ultimate then turned the whole thing around for me. I'd say it's 10 to 20% rough estimation better than iRacing and ACC, which is interesting because it's the exact opposite for me with the Fanatec Club Sport DD+. I also grabbed the 488 steering wheel for the full Ferrari GTE immersion, and LMU showed me that you have to be really careful with the forces. At first the FFB was not inverted, so you have to invert it in the settings in LMU, and it hit me hard in the hands. In an emergency you can also turn the FFB off completely by pressing a button. Let's conclude. My experience with the new wheel and the T818 in general has been positive. Apart from the lack of telemetry support in some titles, the product seems very mature and easy to use. This is how it should be, especially at a set price of around 950 euros or US dollars in this case, without pedals. Their no-filter approach is at least questionable, as I think some tweaking can really improve the experience with some titles. For example, LMU and WRC are so well optimized and feel so great. Also, the T818, from my perspective, desperately needs a PS5 compatible version, as the market for direct drive is very thin there. For pure PC use, it is still competitive and a valid choice, but you must admit Moser does a great job offering the R12 for the same price. But keep in mind, in the EU VAT is included and the T818 is actually made in France. Please let us know about your experiences with this wheelbase and if you had any problems in the comments. I hope Thrustmaster will follow up with more options for this EVO Racing hub and keeps improving the T818 line. I mentioned the CAMMUS C12 during the video. Here is the review of this unique wheel concept. Thank you for watching, hit like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe of course, hit the bell, and see you next time. Bye bye.